Hey everybody, Dauntless here, and I am making this video on a game that I grew up with. It's very special to my heart because it is the first game that I ever played, or at least the first game series. When I was young, we had a DOS-based operating system, so needless to say, when my dad was over there playing with it or doing anything on the computer, I had no idea what he was doing until he brought home Space Quest. And then, all of a sudden, it was the greatest thing ever, and it changed my life. I'm not sure if he's too happy about that, but it did change my life, and I'm thoroughly appreciative of it. So today, I'm going to show you the first in the series that birthed my love of computer games, and in most particularly PC adventure games. This is Space Quest. I like to think that this is the most recognizable song I have in memory. I always wanted to meet Scott Murphy. He was kind of like the head dude of all these games. Him and Mark Crow, excuse me. Light years from Earth's solar system, the people of the galaxy Irnon have been struggling to maintain the precious balance of life. The sun of Irnon is slowly dying. The planets grow cold. Food is no longer plentiful. Life will soon become impossible to sustain. The scientific community of Xenon devised a plan to convert one of Irnon's lifeless planets into a new sun. Because that's how science works. Hey, I believed it back then! The effort was centered around the development of a device called the Star Generator. The Star Generator would be capable of igniting an otherwise useless planet into a raging ball of flame. An expedition set out aboard the Starship Arcata to successfully complete development and testing of the Star Generator. The Arcata is now returning triumphantly to Xenon with the fully operational Star Generator. You serve as a member of the crew of the Arcata as a janitor. That's right, a janitor. And not a very good one. You would probably have been sacked and replaced were the Arcata not millions of kilometers from Xenon. As we join our story, you have just completed one of your famous one-shift naps in one of the janitorial storage closets. In Space Quest 4, I think it was the first time they brought in the narrator, and I wish I could remember. It was like Gary Owens. I think that was it, Gary Owens. And he was such an amazing narrator. Every time I heard his voice, I was like, yes! Except Space Quest 6, which all of a sudden the entire game was geared around telling you how stupid you were, which I'm going to just say right now, I'm probably not going to play through that one because it was so bad. Alright, welcome aboard the Arcata. To log on as a crew member, please enter your name below. Now, in the first, I think it was 2 games, you could type in your name. I think you could do it in the second one. But later on, the character took on the persona of Roger Wilco, and that's basically where he stayed. And there are some glitches and stuff here, because I'm not sure the game was meant to run this way, but it seems to work alright. You are startled by the sound of an alarm. It is followed by an urgent voice, which warns that the Arcata has been boarded by unknown intruders. It ends abruptly. This is one of the many hallways in the Arcata. Now, obviously, when I was younger, I had to type in everything. This encouraged me very quickly to learn how to type and spell. Because, especially in this one, in the third one, it pauses the game when you're trying to type in your command, which was a great feature. In this one, it does not. So you have to think quickly and know how to type quickly, especially when you're being timed. I'm going to set the speed up just slightly so I don't take forever on all this. Thoroughness is key in this game. You look at absolutely everything. Because if you don't and you miss something, you could need it at the very end of the game, just like this cartridge. For the record, I was probably one of the first kids in first or second grade who could spell cartridge reliably every single time. It was crazy. But of course, I may not have been able to spell everything. I couldn't spell, very important words, but I could spell cartridge because I had to get that darn thing off of the Arcada in Space Quest 1. This is the Arcada's data archive. Many volumes of information are stored on data cartridges. There is a computer console here. Looking at the wall, you see shelves full of data cartridges, which can only be removed by the retrieval unit. I think they give you about 15 minutes until the place blows up. But, so it gave me plenty of time to, like, wander around and, like, have fun just goofing off. I'd, like, try and sit in the chairs and stuff like that. The door opens, and a man you recognize is one of the lab scientists enters. He appears to be injured. Oop. After only a few steps, he slumps to the floor. A large laser hole has been burned in his uniform, through which you can see previously unexposed tissue. Struggling painfully, he rises up on one elbow. He tells you the Arcada is under an attack, and that the star generator is in danger. You had better leave if you value your life. He looks over toward the shelves full of cartridges, and utters the words, "Astral Body." He then settles to the floor lifeless. Now, okay. You can actually get it if you type Astral Body or Astral Bodies, which I'll demonstrate now. They were a little more forgiving on some of this stuff. This game is like painfully trying to make sure it runs properly. Oh yes, one thing you also learned is how to save a lot. Because if in fact you died, it didn't save for you, and you could die a lot. If you didn't save, you would have to restart from the very start. You search the body of your crewmate and find a keycard. It doesn't take the keycard for you. You actually have to tell it to take it. So you see there's one there, but you should probably make sure you take it. This is the Star Generator Development Laboratory. Due to your incredibly low security clearance, you have never been allowed access to this room. There is no Star Generator here to look at. So it looks like they've stolen the Star Generator. This thing that is capable of igniting an entire planet. You think you hear footsteps. I always wanted that armor. Like, look at that. It's simple to look at, but man, it looks so cool. Unable to see anyone here, the alien leaves to search elsewhere. I always like the look of the helmet where it had like the piece coming down on the chin. Like it all looks sinister and everything. You are in the central control area of the Arcada. The reactor domes pulsate irregularly, as if they had been tampered with. This does not look good. Through the window just above the control console, you can see down into the vehicle bay below. On the console bay, On the console by the window are the two buttons marked Open Bay Door and Close Bay Door. There. Now, you can either learn how to type really, 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 really fast, or you could plan ahead. You slide the keycard into its slot. You hear an audible click. You take the keycard back. This is the flight prep room of the Arcada. As you can see, there is a sign on the back wall, as well as 2 closet doors and 2 buttons. The sign on the wall warns that the bay doors are currently open, which is what we want, because eventually we're going to want to get out of here. This is a standard issue flight suit designed to protect the wearer from unique conditions of space travel. I'll take that. And now, I don't understand your request. It looks like an electrical gadget of some sort. Another word that I learned how to spell pretty early. Gadget. The console is adorned with many status indicators. One button on the right is marked airlock. Yeah, there's so much in this game that if you don't get it now, you never will. And then later on, you're going to need it. So if you don't have it, you have to restart the game and get it all. It was one of the drawbacks of these old Sierra adventure games is there was a lot, and I mean a lot of stuff that would force you to restart the game, which is why it took us so long to do it. Eventually, with a lot of adventure games, we learned to look at literally everything just so we wouldn't accidentally miss something. Uh-oh, my typing is failing me. Looking at the console, you see a button marked Platform. There are also some gauges which don't interest you. There is now an escape pod here. This is one of the Arcada's skate pods. You vaguely remember receiving some orientation on these when you joined the crew. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm kind of blasting through this. And there we have it. We are out of here! Congratulations, you have narrowly escaped an explosive death. Don't start patting yourself on the back just now yet. Dang it. You are now traveling aimlessly through the cosmos. Sorry for the glitches here and there. The monitor flashes. You study it to see what new information is being displayed. Planet profile, Corona, breathable atmosphere, unknown life, 40-degree Celsius temperatures. The auto-nav system has locked onto the small planet of Corona, and the pod has begun its approach. Nothing to do now but hang on. Don't you love all the sound effects? After a skull-jarring landing, you peer through the shattered viewing port out into the desert landscapes. A feeling of utter desolation settles in. You're in a fine mess now, Roger. If it was skull-jarring, then I guess that's kind of okay, because it's not like there was nothing inside my skull to jar around anyway. Alright! Alright. You are inside the escape pod. It appears that the more fragile devices were damaged severely by the impact of the landing. A survival kit has broken loose from someplace. Done. This is your survival kit. It contains a xenon army knife and a can of dehydrated water. Oh, there we go. Your pod seems to be semi-destroyed. A glimmering catches your eye. Upon closer inspection, you see that a piece of highly reflective glass has broken off out of the window. Yeah, the pod window. Take glass. Another thing that took us about, you know, 2 or 3 weeks to figure out. You are at the southwest edge of a mesa. It is very desolate here. I don't think I needed the rock. Or did I? Oh my goodness. Okay. Rule of all of these games. Save. I should probably have... If I was playing this normally, I would have saved like right when I crashed. Here. I'll do this. You are in the slimiest of caves. The odor in here is less than desirable. Okay. Orat, always in the mood for a snack, snatches the can out of the air with his spacious oral cavity, chews and swallows it. He notices a rumbling deep within his abdomen. Orat's eyes prove to be bigger than his stomach for once. Incapable of becoming history's first living reservoir, his body succumbs to the intense internal pressure created by nearly 10 gallons of instantly reconstituted water. As a special bonus, you have received a much-needed shower. The joke of dehydrated water is one that's pretty big in my family now. If you ever get thirsty, you reach down and take the Orat part in your hand. Some of it oozes to fill the space between your fingers. But yeah, you would end up, we'd be thirsty and it's like, boy, I need some dehydrated water. Now, I'm going to save because I think I need to get a rock. I could ask Charlie Brown, or I could go try and track it down myself. What about the plant? It looks a lot like spinach. Oh, well, that's nice. Suddenly you see a large black metal sphere falling out of the sky, a Sarien spider droid. Upon touching down on this planet's surface, it sprouts legs and begins its search for you. You recall from an article in Space Piston magazine that this droid is designed to seek out organic life forms and self-destruct when contact is made. In other words, get out of Dodge. Alright, if I miss the rock, I'll come back. I'll have to restore back and grab it, but I should be okay. You shiver at the sight of the spider droid with its spindly legs and cold metallic body. Its red scanner probes the terrain for anything that moves, truly an icon of terror. It looks pink on my screen. Okay, again. And you'll notice cracks showed up on the walkway there. Okay, so this was an interesting thing where you had to kind of already know where the rock is going to go. And you just sit here and wait for this thing to get to that one spot. Oh, he's almost there, he's almost there. Oh, come on. And of course, it has to do with the game's pathing ability where it decides to send the spider every time it bangs into something. Here he goes. Oh, and that was not it. I thought it was lower. All right, let's try this one more time. And if it is off by just a little bit, it won't work. Patience, Luke. Now, I believe in the VGA version, this was slightly... Was it easier? I think it was about the same. You still had to kind of recognize where the thing was supposed to be at and do kind of a save, drop, and then restore back and then try it again. But, oh, good grief. Just head over there. But, if you didn't have the water, you'd die. It was not known that you were a master of the rock. That was a fine effort. And there you go. Now, the reason I use you can see me going diagonal is because I always use the directional keypad. In fact, there are parts of the second one that require you to use this. You could get through it with just the regular arrow keys, but it's going to be a whole lot more difficult. This is one end of what appears to be a large cavern. The only way to go is to the left. There is a rock nearby. Oh, good. Done. Oh, thank goodness. The rock is there. Okay, let's do this. And there's why you need the rock. This was done slightly differently in VGA as well. I'm not going to be going through the VGA, which is why I'm talking about it so much, but when you go across here and you have the little arms, in the VGA version, you had to throw this piece of sticky whatever you get when you pick up the rock to get the tentacles to try and grab it, and then it holds them in place while you go by. Okay. There's a geyser cone here. It is rhythmically spewing hot steam. If I drink that, I die. And it... You gaze intently at the purplish pool of liquid, the first real sign of moisture on the planet. The pool seems to have no bottom. The gentle dripping has a soothing effect on your frazzled nerves. Your legs will take you where you want to go. In most cases, anyway. I think... How am I supposed to do this? You lean over to drink from the tempting pool of liquid. As your lips touch the fluid, you feel a pain which could be likened to kissing a lit rocket nozzle. Now you know what they mean when they say, "Don't drink the water." That's right. You have no head. That darn pool must have been filled with acid. You obviously can't go on living that way. I can figure it out. Thank you for playing Space Quest. Too bad you failed miserably and doomed all your people to a horrible death at the hands of the Sariens. If you continue playing as skillfully as this, we'll never have a chance for a sequel. Better luck next time. But then you restore back. Hey look, I'm still there. Okay. I'll try and find some of the more entertaining deaths, but I know I've already missed some of them. I thought about it as soon as I saw the acid. All right. Remember that piece of glass I picked up? There is literally no way back up. Even if you get back in the elevator, I don't think it takes you back up. So if you don't have that glass from the pod, when you get in here, you're stuck. And hopefully you have a save at the right spot so you can actually get through that. So you can restore back get your get the glass. Oh, you are unpleasantly surprised by a drop of searing acid which bores its way to your feet. And you can see the acid drops coming down. There we go. And by the way, in case you're curious, yes, you can fall. In fact, any point here where it looks like I could fall off, the game will literally let you just fall. A massive holographic image appears before you. You sense that you are the only life form in the area. Uh-oh. Because of your inability to understand the alien's language, he has sent you back to the surface. So now, remember that gadget back on the Arcada I picked up? Written on the electronic gadget are the words Dialect Translator. On one end is a dial and a light currently dim. You turn the dial to the right. The light begins to glow. So again, if you didn't pick that up, you're toast! And I know a lot of times people look at a game like this and they're like, isn't that bad design? No, they designed it like this because obviously, you know, they had a limited amount of resources to deal with, so they wanted to make it as long as possible, so they made it as hard as possible. Trust me, any of the original Sierra games or any of those original adventure games, you'll run into this exact mechanic. If you don't remember to pick it up and aren't thorough, you're toast somewhere later in the game. A massive holographic image appears before you. You sense that you are the only life form in the area. So, you have found your way to my hallowed chamber. Unfortunately, there is much more to you that meets the eye. Did I say unfortunately? That was some great speaking animation right there, by the way, for the time. I have been monitoring your travels on our planet. It appears that you are up the proverbial estuary without a means of locomotion. Up the creek without a paddle. You are obviously in need of a transport. It has come to my attention that you have met Orat. If you have proof of Orat's demise, drop it for my inspection. You drop the Orat part on the ground. The vision is silent. You are startled by a rumbling, and suddenly an oddly shaped door comes into view. It opens slowly. You hear a voice, different this time, beckoning you to step forward. Please do not be alarmed. We intend no harm. We are a peaceful race, and are cautious, however. Others don't share our way of life. Welcome to Corona. You are standing in the power generation facility of our underground settlement. All power here is produced by steam. That is unimportant to you, however. We have promised you transportation. Oh, God. It is a skimmer. It hovers approximately half a meter above the traveling surface. This is very important because of Grell. Grell and his like dwell in caves below the sand. If you stand on the surface too long, you chance becoming a rare moist meal for him. The skimmer is programmed to take you to a settlement on the other side of Corona, called Olentz Flats. You can take further travel arrangements there. I am sorry, this is all we can offer. I hope your trip is a safe one. Board the skimmer when you are ready to depart. Good luck, strange one. There's a lot going on here, too. I loved this scene just because of all the cool little stuff going on. You had the pistons going off, and you had the aliens working on things. This place is most interesting indeed. A mixture of both old and new technologies. On one side of the chamber is a primitive steam generator, its pistons pounding rhythmically. turns steam into useful energy. On the other side is what appears to be a computer console. The console consists of a monitor and a cartridge slot. There are also some readouts which indicate the status of some of the mechanisms in here. The cartridge snaps neatly into the slot, and the screen comes alive. I'm going to write this down just in case later on I totally forget it. Whosoever shall read this, my name is Dr. Vohall. I am a scientist with the Star Generator project aboard the Star Lab Arcada. We have just successfully completed development and testing of the Star Generator. During this time, I have come to believe that our progress has been monitored by others. I fear that the Sarians may have learned of our mission. If my fears prove true, the Star Generator and the people of our universe are in serious jeopardy. The Star Generator is a miraculous device. Used as intended, it will help preserve life for eons to come. Used as a device for evil, it would cause the destruction of millions of lives and enslave all who oppose the Sarians. Encoded within this cartridge are all plans and specifications for the construction of the Star Generator. Should any disaster befall the Star Generator project, scientists would be able to create a duplicate of the Star Generator with this information. Please guard this with your life. Return it to the Xenon ruling body as quickly as possible. Important note, the Star Generator is capable of self-destruction. This was introduced to the system as a precaution. To activate it, one must enter the code 6858. There we go. A 5-minute timer will begin to count down. Beware, anyone within 5 kilometers of the Star Generator will be in danger once the timer has been initiated. Please be careful, and good luck. So, I'm just going to say it right now. We all know why it gave us that code and everything, but think about it this way. At what point do you think you're going to be able to blow up the Star Generator? The opportunity, logically, is at the end. So if you didn't get the cartridge at the very start, get the code, I believe now or later, you could never finish the game. So you would have to go literally to the very start of the game and get that cartridge. I'll stop hammering on the point of how this game basically cruelly destroys you for getting to do stuff or not being thorough. But I just always got a kick out of that one particular aspect, is just how much it punishes you for not being thorough and checking this stuff out, or how much it forces you to go back and replay the game just to find all this stuff. As described, it is a sand skimmer, and it looks like it has skimmed quite a bit of sand in its time. On it is a panel which has a small readout, currently dark, and a keyhole with a key in it. This is an arcade section that I've hated ever since I was a kid. Except in the VGA version, it was actually kind of fun. But this one is a pain. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm skipping too much here. Let me restore back really quick. There is one tactic, though, that you can do to get through this very easily, and I'll show it to you momentarily. You turn the key, and suddenly the jet turbines begin to whir. The skimmer begins to shake beneath you. As its platform slowly moves into the launch tube, you can't help but wonder what you've gotten yourself into this time. As you nervously hang on, the skimmer rises slowly to the surface of the planet via a secret passage. Upon reaching the surface, you throttle up and zoom off into the sunset. Okay, so the only way to do this, slow the game down. At least this is the easiest way. Whoop! Because these things start coming at you pretty darn quick, and there's no way to skip this. On normal difficulty, it's pretty hard, and maybe it's just me because my reaction time is probably really bad, but basically every rock you hit causes damage, and if you hit enough of them, you die. Ooh. So then you set the speed down really low, so you can kind of see everything coming a lot easier and get out of the way. This is probably going to be the longest part of the video because I've set the speed down so low that it'll take a minute or so for me to get through this, a couple minutes. But you can see stuff is starting to come in a little faster. Come on. Whoa. Ah, no! Yep. Just driving along. Now, in the VGA version, they did allow you to change the difficulty, and they also allowed you to skip it. Now, the difficulty basically you had an easy, medium, or hard, and on easy, all the rocks were pretty small. On medium, you had a mixture of small rocks, and then you had big rocks, which could blow you out of the air instantly. And then in hard, I think it was just big rocks. So you couldn't hit anything. Thump! Minor damage. Damage report? Minor. Not minor, minor! Oh, so it's a really young damage report. Ah! Even on slow, it's a little bit of a pain. Whew, that was pretty intense. I know. Oh my goodness. Gotta get that sweat off my forehead. You've managed to successfully navigate through the treacherous boulder field and are quite relieved to see that you've reached the settlement. And now I set the speed back up. After a truly stone-crushing journey, you have miraculously arrived safely in Olin's Flats. And just in time, too, because the skimmer power cell has been drained. It will take some time to recharge itself. This place isn't quite what you had expected. It is semi-bleak at best. Say, this is a genuine Falcon sand skimmer. I've been looking for one just like it. I wonder if you would accept 30 buckazoids. No. Fine, be that way. 30 buckazoids? Are you kidding me? Notice the guy on the far right, by the way. Zap! And they have a bot there just to clean up after that thing. So I'm going to step back out here for just a second. Because I'm hoping... Oh, there he is. Okay, this is my final offer, and I'm only doing it because you look like you need it pretty bad. I'll give you 30 buckazoids, and I'll throw in this, well, jetpack. I only used it once. Works great in zero gravity. You'll love it. Is it a deal? Yes or no? Glad we could do business. I'll just take that key, thank you kindly. Hope you staying on Olin's Flats is an interesting one. Alright, so... I was thinking somehow I'd try and skip this part, but... ZZ Top. You've never seen the likes of the patrons seated at the bar. They look fairly absorbed in their drinks. What'll it be? I got beer and it's 2 buckazoids. The beer tastes like carbonated Zipple sweat. However, considering recent events, you could learn to love it. Yes, folks, I need to save the world, but first, I'm getting hammered. Save the universe hammered first. As you sip another of the odd brews, you overhear someone at the bar speaking. There I was, cruising through sector HH, right down. When I spot this blip on the scanner. So I head toward it, see? And there in front of me sits the Deltar. It's just sitting there. My heart's starting hyperwarping on me. I figure my milliseconds are numbered. All I can think of doing is getting my craft out of there. So I'm reaching for the throttle. All of a sudden, there's this incredible flash of light, you see. And just like that, this little planetoid explodes into a ball of fire. I tell you, I've never seen anything like it. I mauled the throttle and got out of there quick, you bet. So now we know where the star generator is. But I need to get a ship. And this is the section of the game that requires you to save more than any other. I'll try and get through this as quickly as I can by making big bets. Okay, the 3 skulls means you die. Oh, so close. And of course you can run out of money. Alright, so I'm going to restore back because I'm not going to waste my time with that level of loss. Perfect. So you save, do it again until you beat the machine. There you go, see? This might actually go faster than I thought. Oh, so close. I thought I was going to get that one. There we go. Well, 9 is sort of good. Oh, it's hopeless. Suck methane! Such a pleasant machine! Okay, restoring back, lost too much. Let's do this. That's not bad. I'll keep it. Oh, one more diamond and I probably would have finished it. You lose, homeboy! I didn't even know they had that phrase back then. This was made back in like 1986, so every once in a while it's like, wait a minute, did they even have that back then? Ah, I am not getting it. Well, maybe it will take a while. Oh. There we go. I'll save to that. I'll save to that! Aye. Like, you'll win a little bit here and there, but what you want are those really big wins that'll dump a boatload of money on you. Uh-oh. Oh, that was close. I almost bought the farm on that one. And it is random. This isn't going to do the same thing over and over. Obviously, it's random. Otherwise, you wouldn't, you know... Oh. Okay, I'm going to test something out. Because while one of these things is better when you're... Luck's turn has cost you dearly as life seeps away. You long for the simpler days aboard the Arcada. Okay, so I can actually turn the speed up and get through those rolls faster. So let's... I'm not going to do that because otherwise I'm going to have to... Ah! I have to go through the whole death thing and restore. Oh, yeah! The diamonds are the biggest return. The eyeballs were one of my favorites just because if you win with them, they kind of circle around inside of the pupil circles around inside the eyeball. Oh, I think that could have won it for me too if I had gotten that. Hey, I'll take it. Oh. Tough luck. It always says such nice stuff. I'm restoring back because I'm hoping it'll accidentally give me another big one and I'll be done with this particular section. And for hours after this video, if anybody actually finishes this, you'll be hearing that beep, 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 beep sound. There it is! That's the one I like. The wonders of classic animation. Oh, there it is! Sorry, there seems to be a circuit failure. To be reimbursed, send claim to Gipazoid Novelties 2001, Odessa Blastway, Guerneville. Fedor XL Galaxy, please allow 2 decades for delivery. There's the Blues Brothers. Alright. So I've got money, I've got a jetpack. Let's look around. Now, I think the ships are this way. Let's head and look at the ships. Ooh, nice face. Why is such a long face? Howdy, bucko. Can I interest you in one of the finest little used spaceships in the galaxy? You look like a man of discerning taste. Tiny is not a great conversationalist. He just wants to sell, sell, sell. Well, there's a man with a good eye. This here is the keenest little scrambler in the hemisphere. Top of the line, handles like a charm, perfect for cruising the asteroid fields. And she's got all the thrust a guy could need. I tell you, she's an outright steal at 214 buckazoids. I tell you, I think you've made a wise decision. She's a beauty. The keys are in her. If you have any problems, don't hesitate to come back and tell us about them. It's been a heck of a pleasure doing business with you. Oh, by the way, you're going to need a droid to help you fly that thing. Well, good luck. Come again. Now he tells me. Okay, so I need a droid. Let's go find one. Let's see. I think you're at the north end of Olin's Flats. There's a building to the east. There are 5 buckazoids stuck in the sand behind the building. Little secret I found out a long time ago. I think there might be more, but we'll see. Droids be us. Welcome to Droids Be Us, the finest emporium for mechanized beings in the quadrant. You have a complete line of droids for any purpose imaginable. Well, almost any. All top of the line, but I suppose you would probably be interested in our sale items. Please walk this way. Why? What do I look like? That model is ideal for flight systems operations. It will pilot any modern fighter or cruiser, and it is one of the most experienced droids we carry. I asked only 45 buckazoids for it, 36 with coupon. I got it from some gambling type who was required to pay up or perish. Using your discount coupon, you have made a relatively decent purchase of a pre-owned sale item. And now comes an interesting little thing here. If you, in some of the cases with with this droid, if you don't pay attention and you like he gets stuck, I think it was this one. If he gets stuck, you can actually lose him. Was it this one? No, no, I'm sorry. That was a different game. In Gold Rush, which I'm thinking I'll play at some point, you can actually get a mule, and if you forget, if you walk around and it gets hooked on something and you get too far away, it will wander off and you lose the game. It's made by the same people, by the way. Looking at the inside of the ship, you notice there are no controls here, just a button marked load. Tiny must have been serious when he said you would need a droid to fly it. What sector shall I head for, sir? Asked the droid. HH, remember from the bar. Sector HH it is. I will proceed with course entry. Hey, wait a minute! Where do you think you're going with my ship? Off you go into the purple yonder. Well done, Roger. You've managed to overcome the elements of Corona, from endless deserts and spider droids to obnoxious salesmen and bad booze. Yes, the sand in your boots shall forever serve as a reminder of this forsaken planet. You should feel proud, but now destiny awaits with an even greater challenge. Hang on, sir. We are heading into an asteroid field. I'm saving. I don't think I have to worry about it, but just in case. Ooh, look at those amazing piloting skills. He's listing lazily to the left. Oh my. I see a ship ahead. We have established visual contact with a ship of Sarien origin, says the droid. The name Deltar is confirmed. You might consider the fact that we are in danger by being anywhere near this ship. I hope you didn't waste money on the extended warranty when you purchased me. I will slow our approach and stand off at a safe distance. Alright. You are now wearing the jetpack. A small control linkage snaps onto the back of your helmet, allowing you to control it merely by focusing on where you want to go. Wow, that's awesome. I'm glad my helmet had that port. Maybe it's like USB or something. Before leaving the safety of your ship, you instruct the little droid to set a course for Xenon, where you will rendezvous later, providing, of course, that you are successful in carrying out your mission. Once again, you are on your own. You grasp the large handle and twist, noting the rather significant amount of pain being registered. You are extremely grateful to hear a click. As you enter the Sarien ship, the airlock door seals itself behind you. You try to open it again without any success. It appears that you are stuck here. Oh no! Oh! Hooked up on graphics. Ugh. So there's two ways to do this. Either you can get inside the box, or you can get inside the shaft. There doesn't seem to be anything special about the container. You are standing in a large, empty room within the Sarien ship. On one wall is a vent. There is some sort of trunk on the floor. Trunk, that's the word. Oh my goodness. You climb into the trunk. The lid pounds shut above you. You hear voices, muffled, then louder. You suddenly feel the trunk lift off the deck and the sensation of movement. After a few minutes, the trunk thuds to the floor, causing you to see stars in the darkness. The voices sound further away, then gone. As you exit the trunk, you notice that you have lost your jetpack. Now, obviously, I can't walk out there like this. You are in the ship's laundry facilities. How convenient! Well, Roger, it certainly appears as though you're about to become all washed up. Ah, ha, ha, ha. It was so funny I almost forgot to laugh. Somehow you managed to survive the rinse cycle. As you emerge from the cleaning unit, you notice that you are dressed in a Syrian battle uniform. What a stroke of genius! You can now wander throughout the ship without calling attention to yourself. Okay, so I want to check something because I want to see, I think there was a cartridge machine here too. And that's important because it's the difference between being able to get the code here as well, the destruct code, or having to get it back at the Steam plant. Because if you can only get it at the Steam plant, it would be another one of those things. Okay, yeah, there is no cartridge reader here. In other words, you better get it over at the Steam plant. He looks to be armed and dangerous. I wouldn't mess around with him. Ah, but he's green. Notice that they look at you if you're on the same level. You are inside an enormous chamber. Before you stands the stolen star generator. Now, I don't have any way of knocking that guy out, so I will have to figure that out. Alright. I have to hopefully get through this quick, because I think there's about to be a disturbance in the force in about 20 minutes, and nothing to do with the game. Alright. What's in my inventory? In the pocket of this uniform is an alien identification card. The name on the card is Buxton Freem. You wonder if this is a common Syrian name. Welcome to the weapons dispensary. I will assist you. Please supply me with your identification card. Excuse me while I retrieve your weapon. Your rank allows you to bear 1 pulse ray unit. Remember, no firing in the ship. Have a nice day. Okay, so I would have liked the rifle. The grenade drops to the floor, releasing its poisonous gas on the unsuspecting alien. Good shot, Roger. And then F6 is my pulse ray firing button. Uh-oh. My, aren't you the clumsy one? Because of your inability to walk without falling on your face, your helmet is now riding the elevator without you. You've blown your cover. The Sariens are sure to shoot first and ask questions later. So it's my job to shoot as quickly as possible. Oh, no. You're toast. Crap. Well, this is going to be interesting. I haven't done this in a while. Okay, get that out of the way. Save and walk. I should have saved back then anyway. Now I got to go through all this again. There we go. I'll just get that habit going. Okay, yes, lose helmet. Moving on. Yes, I'm an idiot. I lost my helmet. One way we used to do is just keep hitting the fire button every couple of moments. Okay, so nope, nobody there. You seem to have found a remote control device of some sort. It has only one button labeled on and off. Oh! Suddenly the force field protecting the star generator disappears. At the base of the star generator is a control panel of some sort. Okay, 6858. Detonation cycle has begun. The star generator has come alive. The heat that this thing is starting to generate tells you that it's time to blow this taco stand. Oh! I wasn't even looking. Again, sometimes you just have to fire like crazy. Fancy explosion. The Deltar has been blown to tiny fragments by the force of the star generator's blast. You have saved the lives of millions of your people, not to mention the lives of those in other systems. Don't get a big head. Congratulations, Roger. You've rid the universe of the evil Sariens and saved your people from certain doom. You're an all-around hero. You've made it home safely aboard the stolen Sarien craft, where you've encountered a cheering Xenon crowd. They have gathered together for a ceremony in your honor. The ceremony is already in progress. Applause! As a token of appreciation, you are presented with a golden mop. Thank you, Roger, for cleaning up our galaxy, says the Xenon leader. Once a janitor, always a janitor. And there it is. That is the original Space Quest. I have all the others, and I am going to go through them. So keep your eyes open. If you really enjoyed this, let me know. Obviously, I already know exactly how to beat every single one of them, but I'm going to try my best to look at everything as I go. And I apologize, I probably missed a lot of stuff on my way through, and I know I did. But, I didn't want this to be like a 3-hour video of me looking at absolutely everything in the game. But, thank you very much for joining me on this, and, hopefully I will see you next time. Bye-bye!